Please, I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired, can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way.
Okay, Coach. Well, we are about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taking you to 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Okay, just like that.
Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's go.
If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Foles. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now Foles. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Here we go. 180. 58 right there. It's a party now.
Here's Foles. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. Keelan Cole, the intended target. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
A carry for Bryce Love, the fourth-rounder from Stanford. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Third and long for Mayfield. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Here we go, here we go. 380. Pick me up. Here we go.
On second and 15 now. Foles trying to lay one. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Browns first down.
Tonight, 180.
Back to throw. And he finds Howard complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. Looking to throw. And a big one, is here as he's taken down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Another try after the first down sack. Foles. They'll give him 8 on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Browns' passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And this is Ertz with it, right side. 11 more on that one and another first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game.
Check, 59. Let's go, defense.
On 1st and goal, Howard. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we...
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Jordan Howard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
20. 54 Mike.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
On 2nd down, Love. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the Browns' 37-yard line.
On 2nd down and 4, Mayfield. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Credit the sack to Corey Legion.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Mike, 53. 53, Mike. Hey, Charlie.
53's the Mike. 53.
On third down, Mayfield. And Jeffrey's got it. A second broken tackle. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. The first catch for Jeffrey. Good enough for a first down.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. Third down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, and they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Bryce Love, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jets are going to retake the lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call.
Let's go.
So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now. They're going to look to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Coverage that time by Bobby McCain.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 34.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd and 9, Foles, nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure, he's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his usual role covering receivers. Now he's rushing the passer as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. He really can't see it in his leg, maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard, that's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Check 50, check 50.
Trying the toss play to Love. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile.
53's the mic. 53's the mic. All day, every day.
Throwing, Mayfield. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Now a man who punted for the Browns in 2015, Andy Leon, to kick it away, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as a Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And we're under a minute to go here. What's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. They'll let this thing go for Sanders. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Intended for Emmanuel Sanders. Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Intended for Emmanuel Sanders. Incomplete. It's 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Vinatieri's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set, 180.
Check 53. Who that? Who that?
Running to start the drive is Love. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. The 30. 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Bryce Love, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jets have once again taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just 1 play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And an alley to run. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's the 2nd and 7. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Love here. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.